Yeah, no, too.
And welcome back to Advertising Week. I'm Gail Myers with the Digital Media Review, and I'm here with John. And John's going to walk us through Infolinks. So I have to say, this is my first time. This is my first experience with you guys.
Those are our favorite conversations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So talk to me. What do you guys, and how do you provide solutions for marketers?
Yeah, well, we really took a step back and a look at the marketplace. And, Steve Jobs always likes to talk about this. Fill a void in order to make yourself, really a useful company. And we saw some clear ones in digital. And a lot of it is really just around engagement and getting the users to really interact with the message. And it's become so hard. If you think about it, next year we're coming up on the 20-year anniversary of the first display ad. And it was AT&T, and it got a 47% click-through rate. So obviously, in all the time since then, users have gotten really savvy and have basically become in tune to block out conventional messages. And that's something that we really identified as, well, how do we break through that? And what's happened as an industry is, we've done some things that are cool and engaging, but to a large degree, we've just resorted to sort of carpet bombing impressions, pure tonnage, to the point where all of us as web users see about 50 ads a day.
Yep.
So, we look at it with our partners and say, well, how do you as marketers become the one or two messages that stand out among those 50 that we all see every day? So that's really how we've kind of approached the marketplace, and what we've realized is really connecting with the mindset and what the user is doing at that moment is crucial. So we're all about real-time intent and really connecting while people are in the active act of researching a certain solution, and not relying on actions from days or even weeks ago as a proxy for current intent, because it just doesn't align, and it doesn't provide enough value.
And how are you measuring intent? So, how does your platform exactly work? So are you doing it for the publisher? Are you doing it with the consumer?
Yeah, great question. Well, we're doing it on both sides, and how we're really measuring intent is we looked at, it's interesting because we're able to pull back and actually learn from the best of a couple different categories, search as well as display. Search is the behemoth that it is because they've nailed intent.
Exactly.
If you search for something, you sure are raising your hand and announcing your intent and your interest at that moment. And display has sort of tried to catch up on that beautiful holy grail, benefit ever since. And that's exactly how we looked at it. How can we, leverage search or that kind of real-time action in order to be sure of current intent on the display side. So, that's specifically how we do it. And we basically piggyback on search because those are the hand raisers. And that's our whole thing, is we want to only target the hand raisers. We want people who are, engaged and active right now, because the challenge with banner blindness and just the less than 0.1% click-through rates, it's all due to a passive user experience. They're kind of just browsing through content. The messages may or may not align. We've had 20 years to learn to ignore them. And it just to get really good about going right to the content, and sort of that stuff on the sidelines is just completely ignored, hidden in plain sight. And actually, Infolinks later this year will be releasing an update to some of the research done on banner blindness.
Great.
Which will be great. That'll be really interesting and telling, information about a phenomenon that really just keeps, getting more deeply ingrained in digital.
Gotcha. Yeah. And so I'm a marketer, or, can you give me an example of a case study of how you work with marketers? So, and the kind of results that that's driven.
Sure, absolutely. And the results are amazing. We're seeing about 30 times the engagement of conventional display. All our units, we're going to talk mostly about the in-search product today, which piggybacks directly off search. But all our units show about 30x the engagement of conventional display. And the reason is that we basically do a lot of the qualifying before the ad even renders. One of the cool things I like to mention is that none of our ads are even seen if the user doesn't take an action. So there's nothing passive about it. Whether it's a search query for the in-search product, or having to actually ask to see the ad in our in-context product, a passive user will literally never see an Infolinks message, which is deeply powerful. Just and by the time you get that far along, somebody, if you're sort of able to weed out the tire kickers or the passive, observers, you're by only focusing on the really strong self-qualified leads, you're going to get really great results. And whether it's performance campaigns or even for awareness, because the traffic driving is excellent. Really across categories. We do a lot in auto, consumer electronics, finance, anything that people research. That are active about doing work on, finding out the right solutions. It mirrors perfectly with what we do best.
That's exciting. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been great.
And thank you for joining us today. Did you want to walk us through anything?
If we can quickly show the demo on how the in-search works, that'd be great. So let's do it quickly.
Apologize, I wasn't sure.
No, absolutely. And so I'm just going to take you through the demo as it loads. So the in-search starts with a search query.
Okay.
The user, the clients can type in a relevant keyword, in this case investing. They can be running search, it's fine. In this case AdWords, but the user ignores it in this case and goes to an organic link. And if that's in one of our marketplace and direct site publisher relationships, we know in real time if that user just arrived via that search query, and dynamically from the bottom of the page, we're able to serve a relevant ad to what they just searched for.
That's exciting.
So it's great.
It's a good conquesting tool.
Absolutely, it's great for conquesting, and in this case, it's pure search, search extension, because this is existing search assets. Just really a call to action.
And
but
do you have
also
partnerships with the search engines? Is that how you're able to do that?
No, we don't need to. It's we just have the partnerships with the sites.
Right, so you're able to identify the inferred traffic.
And as we were saying, we sit right at that intersection of display as well, because here you see it's a 728 by 90 flash ad. So you get the creative canvas of display, except with that real-time targeting that only search allows.
Excellent.
Much better than search retargeting, where somebody searched for something, but it may have been days or weeks ago. This is 2 seconds ago. It's only people who just raised their hand and said, I'm looking for investing information.
I can only imagine how well that's converting.
Yeah, it converts incredibly well. And, but we get a lot of branding campaigns as well, because even if you're just trying to get awareness out there, somebody who's indicating that intent, it remains the best prospect. So,
absolutely. Well, thank you. I'm glad you took me through that. It's always really nice to just bring it home.
Absolutely, yes. And thanks for the conversation today, and for anyone who wants to reach out. I oversee national sales out of Palo Alto. We have people in Chicago and New York, so we're happy. We're dealing with a lot of the major brands and agencies in those markets, and we encourage any dialogue that with new prospects.
Well, thank you, John. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
And
Thanks
we'll see
for
you
having
next year for sure.
Absolutely. Look forward to returning.
And back to you guys.